Today we begin by digging into the unaffordable cost of a college education. According to one analysis, tuition at public universities has quadrupled over 35 years. The average cost of public college in 2016-2017 is just over $20,000. Tack on $15,000 if you're from out of state. Private colleges, on average, it's more than $45,000 this year. In one survey, 39% of recent college grads reported earning $25,000 or less. That's nowhere near enough to make a dent in all those student loans. And we found some students turning to desperate measures. On college and university campuses around the country, it's a familiar complaint.
I think it's really sad that our country wants to charge like 18, 19, 20-year-olds $250,000 to be educated, better, good quality citizens. I think that's ridiculous.
Do you know how much debt you're going to have when you graduate?
Yeah, my guess is somewhere around $30,000 or $40,000.
Are you concerned about paying it back?
Yes, I'm very concerned. You know, got to get a good job out of school, which is hard these days with the market the way it is.
The high cost of college is on the minds of a lot of students here at New York University, or NYU. It costs upwards of $60,000 a year to attend school here and live on campus.
You could say that NYU represents the avant-garde of everything that's wrong with U.S. higher education.
In what respect?
They engage in a staggering range of tricks and tactics to squeeze as much cash as possible out of the student body.
Mark Crispin Miller is a professor of media culture and communication at NYU who leads a faculty group and co-authored a faculty report called The Art of the Gouge, How NYU Squeezes Billions from Our Students and Where That Money Goes.
There are $10,000 to $20,000 worth of hidden fees at NYU, amounts of money that the students didn't realize they were going to have to come up with. This has happened time and time again, students telling us they just sent me a bill for $2,000, etc. If you factor in the considerable hidden fees that NYU ends up charging, I think it is unquestionably the most expensive school in the country.
Critics call those hidden fees backdoor tuition. And it's not just NYU. Colleges around the U.S. have quietly devised creative, complex systems of mandatory extra charges on top of ballooning tuition. Application fees, student orientation fees, credit card fees, you name it. Parking permits cost up to $858 at Ohio State University. California Polytechnic State charges an annual $814 student success fee. Harvard's mandatory fees add up to nearly $3,800. At the University of California, Los Angeles, there's the Student Services Fee, Instructional Enhancement Initiative Fee, Seismic Fee, Document Fee, Green Initiative Fee, over $2,000 for mandatory health insurance, and more. Together, it adds upwards of $4,000 onto tuition, room, and board.
Lots of nickel and diming. It's like, we're giving you so much as it is, and now you're going to take even more from us that's like not technically included in the tuition.
Vincent Senku graduated from NYU with a degree in drama and producing and a gut-wrenching debt.
I'm personally 30 grand in debt, and my dad's like 120 from school.
Take out loans and eat ramen. Or get a sugar daddy and live the life you've always wanted.
Some female students are turning to a shocking alternative, a website called Seeking Arrangement, which hooks up young sugar babies with sugar daddies to help pay the high cost of college.
Jumpstarting your future begins with choosing the right education.
How long ago did you join?
This was like 3 years ago that I joined it.
This Seeking Arrangement sugar baby agreed to speak with us if we would protect her identity and alter her voice. Her parents have no idea. Let's be clear, a lot of them do get into this because they want sex.
Yeah, they do. But that doesn't mean you have to have sex with them. Just like if you meet someone off that site and you met him in person, that doesn't mean you have to have sex with him if you choose not to.
So what did you ask for and what were you able to get?
It was a time where I needed like $300 for the textbooks for class, and I honestly didn't know how I was gonna pay for them. Like, I didn't really want to ask my parents. So he paid for all the textbooks. Like, he was like, listen, I'm gonna give you money so that you can take care of that because it's important.
It's very popular among college students. People
in college oftentimes don't have a lot of money. They're taking out a lot of loans. They're graduating with a ton of debt and walking into a job market they've oftentimes priced themselves out of. And meeting a sugar daddy is also a way to advance your career.
Brooke Urich is a spokesman for Seeking Arrangement. She says it's not prostitution, which is strictly a transactional process for sex. Instead, she says the dating website facilitates mutually beneficial relationships.
Around 2010, we saw a really huge increase of students joining the site, so we decided to offer them a student discount when they sign up using their student email addresses.
They call it Sugar Baby University.
You can gain the personal connections you need to go from entry level to corner office. Enroll with Sugar Baby University today and get your education paid for by a generous sponsor. NYU in particular has topped our list of top Sugar Baby schools for a few years now. And it's in part because of the cost of living is outrageous there, as well as the cost of attending NYU. And to reasonably get by on a minimum wage job while you're in school is not something that a lot of these women and men can do.
NYU declined to be interviewed for this report. So did the College Board and American Council on Education, a coordinating body for colleges and universities. We do know that while students are going into deep debt, endowments and revenues at many schools are growing. A new report from the nonprofit Open the Books finds that 8 Ivy League schools have amassed nearly $120 billion in endowment funds. As nonprofits, they pay no taxes on investment gains, $3.4 billion in 2014. They show a net profit of $21 billion from 2010 to 2014, but enjoy healthy taxpayer benefits, collectively amounting to nearly $6 billion a year. What would you say if you had to pick one factor is the biggest single problem at colleges nationwide when it comes to costs?
Administrative bloat is what's costing all these kids so much money, costing their families so much money. I mean, it's really Gilded Age stuff, and it has no place in any decent university.
That includes lavish executive pay. Miller says top NYU executives average raises of 26%, while professors got just 2.5%. Recently retired NYU President John Sexton scored the highest base pay in the country in 2013 at $1.24 million. His 2014 compensation topped $1.5 million. NYU won't say how much it pays its new president, Andrew Hamilton. The university's annual payroll nears $3 billion, working out to a cost of about $57,000 per student. Besides salaries, many colleges spend millions on the rapid-fire buying, building, and renovation of pricey real estate.
They're turning these campuses into show places to attract students of means, you know, and to provide a kind of health club, club med atmosphere for students, as if they were applying to attend resorts for 4 years, as opposed to studying and learning how to think critically and so on.
I think the money could definitely be going to help students more so than build another building in the city.
NYU's real estate portfolio includes several multi-million-dollar luxury condos for selected law school faculty housing, with extravagant features like Calcutta gold marble, radiant heat floors, and a dining room with 37-foot-high ceilings.
They see the university as, on the one hand, a corporate enterprise, a commercial enterprise that's meant to get as much revenue as possible, a corporate enterprise that has to be branded relentlessly all over the world, nonstop.
We wanted to hear NYU's views, but they declined to answer our questions. A spokesman emailed us a long list of steps they're taking to address affordability, including ensuring the lowest increase in cost of attendance, tuition, and fees in 20 years, lower than 25 closest competitors, and freezing room and board rates this year at last year's rates. NYU also says it's tripled its financial aid budget and average grant amount. But many students here and around the nation are struggling.
Sugar Baby University, where beautiful, ambitious people graduate debt-free.
There are other resources besides just going to Seeking Arrangements and meeting them so that they can pay for your college. You don't necessarily have to turn to that site, but is it a bad idea? No.
It's interesting because my dad paid for all of my schooling out of pocket until this year. He's spent the majority of his savings. I don't think my dad will retire at all.
I feel like I am always going to be in debt, and I've just kind of accepted that, and it's kind of changed the way I look at spending and everything. I think it's ridiculous.
Times Higher Education magazine recently ranked NYU #1 for employability of its grads, but 78th in terms of salary earned after 10 years. $58,000, $800.